Students, in this video, we will be studying about the different properties what the lubricant or what the lubricant should have. Okay, the first property we are going to study the viscosity. What is viscosity, my dear students? Viscosity is a measure of degree of fluidity of liquid. So viscosity is the degree of fluidity of liquid, which means whether it is thick or thin. For more heat or and more pressure, greater viscosity is required, which means if the lubricant is under the more pressure or more heat, then we are supposed to use thick fluid. For example, in case of the rear axles of automobile, the rear axles will be under high pressure, so that we need thick grease. Viscosity is important since the load carrying capacity is proportional to viscosity. That's what I'm telling you. Rear axles, differential axles, a different point of view. If the load carried is more, then we go for the more viscosity. Viscosity, there are two types of viscosity we calculate, my dear student: absolute viscosity and kinetic viscosity. So absolute viscosity is the ratio of shear stress to the velocity gradient. So what I mean to say here is absolute velocity equal to shear stress divided by velocity and thickness of the fluid. H is thickness of the fluid. And kinematic viscosity is nothing but it is a ratio of absolute viscosity to the density. Absolute viscosity to the density. Yes. Once again I'm telling you, viscosity is a property of a material. So it identifies which type of what thickness of the fluid should be used for the lubricant purpose. Okay, then my dear students, we next will and one more thing, the unit of viscosity is Newton second per meter square, that is PAS. Okay, next what we have, oiliness. Next property what we have, oiliness. So what is oiliness, my dear students? Oiliness refers to the wettability, surface tension, and slipperiness. So, my dear students, what happens? I'm telling you, oiliness is the ability of an oil to maintain unbroken lubricating film between rubbing surfaces. So, what is the oiliness, my dear students? It is about the wettability. If the oil is there, wetness will be more. If the oily quantity is oiliness is there, then surface tension is more. If the oiliness is there, slippery is more. So in general, I'm telling you, it is the ability to maintain the unbroken lubricant so that there will not be any clogging, there will not be any separation of the oil layers. Like for example, if the oil is here, if the oil is here, let's say the oil droplets are not formed here. So oil droplets are not going to be formed. They are not going to be formed in a cloud way. So that the oiliness always represents wettability, surface tension, and slipperiness. Next point is flash point. Next point is flash point. My dear students, flash point is the lowest temperature at which an oil gives the sufficient vapor to give a momentary flash on introduction of the flame, which means, my dear students, the minimum temperature at which that the flame will be propagated towards the fluid. For example, my dear students, let's take the petrol. Petrol is poured on the road. Petrol is poured on the road. So at what temperature automatically fuel attracts the flame? Fuel attracts the flame. That's what, my dear students, a good lubricant should have high flash point. So whenever the flash point is more, then what happens, my dear students? That is safe under the burning process, under the explosion and under different way of burning. Next is fire point. This fire point and flash point are very near with their properties. What is fire point? It is the lowest temperature at which oil gives off the sufficient vapor to burn continuously when ignited. So it flash point attracts the flame. Fire point, it allows to burn when ignited. So what happens, my dear students? In case of both flash point and fire point, the lubricant should have both values higher so that burning will not happen. Next is pour point. So what is pour point, my dear students? Pour point is, it is the lowest temperature at which oil ceases to flow when cooled. So what happens, my dear student? Minimum temperature, their oil gets ceased to flow when cooled. So what happening here, my dear student? I'll try to flow. So what is the minimum or lowest temperature? Oil try to flow. For example, grease won't flow. That's 4 point is different. And two-wheeler engine oil, when you pour, automatically that flows. That's 4 point is different. Okay. Then what we have? Cloud point. The next what 4 point is over. Next what we have? Cloud point. What is cloud point, my dear students? It is a temperature at which oil becomes a cloudy in appearance when it is cooled. So it is a temperature, one particular temperature, oil becomes the cloudy in nature when it is cooled. That point is called as cloud point. My dear students, let's come to some practical examples. This is a we find this type of numbers on engine oil purchasing. So what is this number? What is this number indicates? These both indicates the viscosity properties. These both, whatever we have, the 20 number and 50 number both indicates the viscosity. So what happens at low temperature? This should be lower, my dear student. This the whatever we have the number beside, so below before W, that indicates that should be low as possible. The number after what we have, that should be above as much as possible, so that what happens when range is going to be increased. So from 20 to 50 gradient we can be maintain, means low temperature to high temperature we can maintain. So 20W40 general we use for the below 120 cc, 15W 50 use for the bullet and pulsar. Like that oil we are going to prefer. Now my dear students, they just have a general knowledge. We have a different oils, SAE20, SAE30. Don't go for the much on this. These just concentrate only on these three things: SAE20, SAE30, SAE40. This is out of syllabus for your information. So you can check the flash point and 4 point. Flash point is always more than 200. Flash point should be, you can check the flash point here. SAE20 is more, SAE26 more, SAE30 is 226, SAE40 is 268. So these indicates a good quality of the fluid, good quality oil. Then viscosity also, here we have good viscosity. And pour point should be less as less as possible. Of course, we have -10. -10 is lesser than -9, so that it's good quality. So this is about the properties. And next, how you are going to select the lubricant? What criteria you are going to? Next point, what we are discussing is about the selection of lubricant. My dear students, selection of the lubricant, we have certain points. That is, whenever you want to purchase any lubricant or engine oil for your bike, so or anything, whenever you go for purchasing of oil, whether you purchase a grease, whether you purchase oil, or whether you purchase a powder, but ultimately what parameters makes you to decide? One is the selection of the lubricant. First one is the relative speed between the members. When gears are rotating or any metal plates are moving each other one on another, then their speed, based on their speed, we should select the lubricant. For higher speed engines like gearbox and all, we don't prefer the grease. We prefer lubrication oil, that is engine oil. And temperature range under which lubrication must operate. I already informed you this one, this 20 and 50 almost related to, this indicates a temperature range. Actually, it's a viscosity parameter. This should be lower, this should be higher. This indicates the high, this works as a 50 degrees Celsius, this works as a 20 degrees Celsius. Actually, it's not a temperature, but we can assume that one. Range should be more, operating range should be more. Next, we select the lubrication oil based on the intensity of pressure between the two meeting surfaces. For example, one plate is on another, one plate is on another, one plate is on another. Whatever we pour the lubrication oil grease here, that's pressure we also prefer. Higher pressure, we go for the thick uh, lubricant, that is grease. And method of applying. So how we are going to method? Manually are you going to pour? Whether are you going to automatic pouring? Like this, we are going to, based on this, we select the lubricant. Next one is life required. See, you might have known that one. Some cars we go for 1 year we don't change the engine. For two-wheeler, every 2 months we change the engine. Some of two-wheeler we change engine for 5,000 kilometers, more than 3 to 4 months. So based on the life, we select the lubrications. Next one is how much frictional loss you are going to allow. So how much frictional loss you are going to allow, so that based on these criteria. Selection criteria are based on pressure, based on speed, based on temperature, based on life, based on method of applying, based on one more thing, at bearing atmosphere, we select the lubricants. The last point is what is a good character? What are the requirements of the good lubricant? If you are purchasing the good lubricant oil, then what you are going to expect from that one? What makes the lubricant to say that as a good lubricant? So one thing, it must have a sufficient viscosity. If the viscosity is proper, then we can say good lubricant. That is a requirement of good lubricant. Then next means high flash and fire point. As I already informed you in properties, it should have high flash and fire point and resistance against the emulsion, that is clog formation and all, that should not happen. And that should be non-volatile. For example, what is volatility? Petrol, if you hold petrol in your hand, automatically it evaporates, but engine oil it won't. So engine oil is non-volatile, but lubrication should be non-volatile. That should not be involved in the evaporation. Next is the engine oil should not make the corrosion of the uh, metal surface wherever it is getting, it is in a touch with it is in a contact. Next is easy fluidity at low temperature. At low temperature, it should not make any paste. It should not be any wax. It should not look like a wax. It should be flow at even at low temperature. Next one is last point is it should be physically stable, chemically stable during the different range of pressure and temperature. These all are the requirements of the good lubricants. My dear students, please read once again or recall the points once again: selection of lubricants, requirements of the lubricants again and again, and even definitions of the properties of lubricant.